For nearly 2 decades, Siri has been the punchline of AI assistants, slower than asking Google, less capable than ChatGPT, and honestly kind of embarrassing to use in public. But iOS 27 is about to change that completely, and Apple's doing something nobody expected, putting genuine artificial intelligence features directly on your iPhone hardware, not beaming your data off to a cloud server somewhere. This isn't just a Siri upgrade. It's Apple admitting that smartphones desperately need AI to stay relevant in 2026, and they're betting everything on doing it the way that keeps your private data exactly where it belongs, on your phone, locked away from corporate servers. And they're calling it Apple Intelligence. Here's what makes this moment so different from every other company's AI phone launch. Over the next 10 minutes, we're breaking down what's actually coming to your iPhone, why this exact moment in tech history matters so much, and whether your device can even handle it without slowing down. Because here's the thing, if Apple nails this, it could completely reshape how every major tech company thinks about artificial intelligence on phones. The privacy angle alone changes everything about the entire conversation. So let's dig in and find out what they've actually built, how it really works on your device, and why they kept it so secret for this long. You've got to understand, Apple was literally years behind on this. In 2024 and 2025, every other major smartphone maker was screaming about their AI features. Google had Pixel with generative search and photo editing. Samsung was pushing Galaxy AI. Even Qualcomm was bragging about their latest chips having dedicated neural processing power. But Apple, they stayed quiet, almost suspiciously quiet. And people were starting to wonder if Siri's outdated limitations, the stuff that made it the butt of jokes, meant Apple just couldn't compete on artificial intelligence. But here's what nobody realized. Apple wasn't sleeping. They were building something completely different from everyone else. While Google and Samsung were bolting AI onto existing phone architectures, Apple was redesigning their entire chip, the A-series processor that powers every iPhone. They put dedicated silicon inside specifically for running AI tasks, not just a little AI accelerator bolted on the side. We're talking about massive amounts of processing power baked directly into the phone itself. This is a different strategy entirely. It's like the difference between buying a generic car and adding a turbo engine versus designing the whole car around speed from day one. And it took them longer because they were doing it right. By the time iOS 27 launches, Apple's neural engine will be more mature, more power efficient, and more tightly integrated with the operating system than anything the competition has built so far. So here's how this actually works. And this is where Apple Intelligence gets really interesting. All the heavy lifting happens right on your iPhone. You're typing suggestions, that's being processed by that neural engine we just talked about. Your email summaries, running locally, photo editing, on device. This is fundamentally different from what most other companies do. Google Pixel does send some data to the cloud. Samsung does too. But Apple's saying no, your private conversations, your photos, your emails, they never leave your phone. They process on the device itself. Think about it like the difference between having a personal assistant sitting in your office versus having to call someone at a headquarters building across town and describe everything you want done. The local approach is faster, more private, and way less awkward. Now, the neural engine isn't some magical mystery chip. It's built using machine learning acceleration technology that's been around for years. But Apple's version is extraordinarily efficient. It's designed to handle complex AI tasks, the kind that usually need a massive data center using a fraction of the power. This matters because it means your battery doesn't take a massive hit. Running AI features on device doesn't mean your iPhone turns into a portable space heater. And this is the technical breakthrough nobody's talking about. Previous attempts at on-device AI were either slow or battery draining or both. But here's what changes everything about this approach. Let's get specific about what iOS 27 actually gives you. First up, writing assist. The most obvious use case. You're typing an email, a message, a social post, whatever. The system now watches what you're writing and suggests completions. It's similar to autocorrect, but instead of guessing the next word, it's suggesting the next phrase, and it does it smart. Like if you're writing a professional email about a frustrating client meeting. It doesn't just suggest generic business speak. It understands the context and tone and suggests actually good completions. Next, email summaries. You've got 50 unread emails. iOS 27 doesn't make you read through all of them. It generates a summary of each one. A few sentences that captures the essential information so you can triage what actually needs your attention. Then there's photo editing, and this one's genuinely impressive. You take a photo. There's dirt on the lens, a weird shadow, someone's half in frame. Apple Intelligence fixes these things for you, not like a basic filter, actual computational photography that understands what the image should look like and adjusts it. It's the same technology Google Pixel's been doing, but now on every iPhone. And all of this happens on your device. No uploading to a server farm, no waiting for a cloud response. It's instant, it's private. And honestly, it's a massive quality of life upgrade for daily iPhone use. And this is just the beginning of what's coming. Now here's the question everyone's asking. How does Apple Intelligence actually stack up against what Google and Samsung are already doing? And the honest answer is complicated. Google Pixel has been doing generative AI features for longer. Their photo magic eraser tool is outstanding. Their real-time translation is genuinely useful. Samsung's Galaxy AI integration across the whole UI is solid. But here's where Apple gets interesting. It's doing something nobody else is doing at scale, running everything locally. Most of Google's fancy features still phone home to the cloud. Samsung's do too, Apple's not. That's a massive strategic difference. It's like comparing a restaurant that sources all ingredients locally versus one that ships everything from a central warehouse. One model is faster and fresher. The other might have more variety. For Apple Intelligence, the trade-off is worth it because you're getting privacy as a built-in feature, not an afterthought. And there's something else. Apple's features are super tightly integrated into the OS. iOS 27 doesn't just have AI features bolted on top. The entire operating system is designed around the neural engine. Every notification, every keyboard, every suggestion system understands machine learning. That's architectural thinking, not feature spray painting. Which means the experience should feel more coherent, more intelligent, less like you're using 5 different AI systems that don't talk to each other. But here's the thing that changes how we think about this competition. So what does this actually mean for you as an iPhone user? First, the privacy angle, and this is huge. Your personal data stays on your device. Your conversations stay between you. Your medical data, your financial info, your private photos, they never leave your phone. That's not just a nice feature. In 2026, it's a fundamental change in how tech companies think about consumer privacy. Apple's betting that people will pay a premium for a phone that respects their data. And honestly, they are probably right. But there's a flip side. Running everything locally means some features might be simpler than cloud alternatives. You might not get the same AI sophistication a massive server farm could provide. Apple's prioritizing privacy over absolute maximum capability. Is that trade-off worth it? For most people, yes. But power users might feel limited. Then there's the hardware angle. The neural engine takes up physical space and uses power. Even though Apple's optimized it, there's still a battery impact. You might see slightly shorter battery life if you're hammering AI features all day. But the bigger implication is what this means for the entire industry. If Apple succeeds with on-device AI that actually works, other companies face a choice: go privacy first like Apple or double down on cloud AI and accept privacy trade-offs. This moment determines what phones look like for the next 5 years. Okay, so you want to actually use Apple Intelligence when iOS 27 drops. Here's how you do it. First, you need a compatible iPhone. Not every model will have the neural engine. You're looking at recent generations, the iPhone 15 Pro, Pro Max, and the upcoming iPhone 16 lineup. Older phones won't have the horsepower. Once you're on iOS 27, head to Settings, then Intelligence. You'll see an Apple Intelligence section where you can enable it globally or disable specific features. Most stuff is on by default because Apple figures you want this working. But if you're privacy paranoid and you don't want anything running, you can turn it all off. Now, feature-specific setup. Writing Assist shows up automatically in your keyboard. You'll see suggestion bubbles pop up as you type. You don't have to use them, but they are there. For email summaries, open the Mail app and you'll see summaries at the top of long messages. Photo editing is in the Photos app. Open an image, tap Edit, and the AI tools are right there. You can remove objects, adjust lighting, all that. Then there's Siri. It's smarter now and faster because it's tapping into that local neural engine. Ask it things, and it actually understands context better. No more "sorry, I didn't catch that" like the old days. The whole experience should feel way more intuitive than previous Siri. And honestly, using it is the best way to understand what Apple Intelligence actually does. Here's what this moment is really about. For the past 5 years, Apple's been the catch-up player on AI. While everyone else was shipping features, Apple was quiet, building something different. iOS 27 marks the moment they stop playing defense and start leading the conversation. Not because they are first, they are not, but because they are doing something nobody else has pulled off at scale: real artificial intelligence that respects your privacy. And that changes everything. That's the angle that matters, whether a company thinks your data is a product or a responsibility. Apple's betting that enough people will choose the responsible company. And if they are right, you're going to see every competitor scrambling to rethink their AI strategy by year's end. But here's what it means for you right now. If you've got a recent iPhone, iOS 27 is a meaningful upgrade. Siri gets better. Your phone gets smarter. Your data stays yours. That's not a small thing. Download the update when it rolls out, spend a few minutes exploring the intelligence settings, and give it a real try. Don't just enable it and forget. Actually use it and see how it changes your daily routine. The most interesting tech is never obvious until you experience it yourself. So follow for daily AI news as we break down how this rolls out and what it means for your device. You don't want to miss what Apple does next.